Hi and welcome to episode 22 of the Yarnniffler podcast. My name is Sam. I'm a university student from Belgium. I love to knit and crochet while I'm not studying and sometimes when I'm studying. Hi, welcome back. Welcome if you're new here. You can find me on Instagram as Sam Wyffels and on Ravelry as Yarnniffler. Everything that I will be talking about will be linked in the description box down below today. And if you have any questions or comments, just let me know and I'll try to help you further. Hi, yes, so it's been a couple of weeks. I did not plan this, but a couple of things happened which led to me just needing some time for myself and not having a lot of knitting mojo and not wanting to do this. But now I was preparing this yesterday and I was feeling really good about it. So yes, I'm happy to be here again. I'm filming this on Friday the 24th of March. I'll probably post this later tonight. I hope if everything goes well. I have a lot to show you because I think it's been more than a month. Yes, I think it's been about 6 weeks since I filmed last. So I have been knitting a lot, but like I didn't have the mojo to start new things, so I was just finishing up some things and stuff. And then now I have the mojo and want to start all the things, so I want to talk to you about all of them. And if you want to know a little bit more about why I wasn't here the last couple of weeks, just watch till the end and I'll tell you all about it. Okay, first up, my first finished object that I had is, and it's full of hair because I've been wearing it a lot, this cardigan. And you're seeing the inside. So we have this panel at the bottom of the body and on the sleeves as well. So I'll be referring a lot to my notes because it's been a couple of weeks since I finished most of my things. So yeah. So this is the boho style mosaic knitting cardigan by Irene Lynn. I made the size 2M. I use 5mm needles, I think, for everything, even because it's like a sort of, I don't know if you will try, a sort of broken rib, so you didn't need to go down a needle size. And I don't even know what I did for the bind offs. I know I've tried a couple of different things because they were flaring out. So yes, that's that. The yarn I used, I'm still peeling off hair from it, I'm sorry. The yarn I used is Crème Casole Wool Reborn Wool Recycled. So I think it was with about 60% of recycled materials, which I really like. This mustard yellow color, or more ochre, is number 7. I used about 1.02 skeins, so a whole skein and just a little bit to finish off the sleeves. And then this navy color, it's navy not black, I don't know, I hope you can see it's navy, is color 21, and I used all 5 skeins I had. I didn't have enough yarn to finish this color, so I'll try to show you. So it's a bit hard to show you. Wait. So the thing is, you have like these panels, and then you can see it's like a stockinette with just one row of pearls in it. And this the color is garter stitch, and the meaning of it is to be double folded. But I didn't have enough yarn, so I made it just perfectly long enough to get it like it can fold. Let me get in. So it's a bit oversized. Let me try to show you. So like I can fold it, and my hair is being annoying, I'm sorry. Trying to, yes, how it should lay. So I can fold it just like this little bit, but the meaning was to like have a big fold over collar, but like if I want to do this, it's not necessary. Let me stand up. So like here are my hips, so it comes just below like over my booty. So it's just like an oversized one. Sleeves are like maybe a little bit too long after blocking, but shorter wouldn't be possible. What I did is, I'll try to show you. if I take it off, I hope you can see here, like over these, so these three sleeve panels. On all three of them in total, I decreased 24 stitches to just not get such a big arm, because I first off was worried about having enough yarn, which was a valid concern, and secondly I was worried because I'm not used to wearing like such big oversized sleeves, because like both of my arms can fit in one of those sleeves. So I was like, if I make them a little bit smaller, it will fit more into my wardrobe. So it's like perfect to now wear out just as a cardigan, or even over another sweater or a cardigan, just as an extra layer. If you look at the pattern, you'll see I just use 2 colors and they use 4 colors, I think, to have like some difference in the mosaic knitting part, but yeah, that was not my intention. So yes, that's it. Here you can see my floats. I think it's also look nice if you like see it this way. So yes, I'm very happy with it. It was the first time I did such a big panel of mosaic knitting on like multiple things, but I really liked it. So this is the first finished object. Yes, let me put it here. Okay, so I finished that just after my exams. I think I already finished like the second sleeve, or was almost finished with the second sleeve when I talked to you last. Then the next thing I finished was a thick unspun roving blanket. So I'll put in a picture here of the blanket. So it's just like for one person you can just lay it like perfectly over you, or for 2 people it can be a perfect light blanket. I'll also put in a picture of me working on it because I found it very happy. So what I like, very funny, like this big yarn I was just knitting with my arms. Do I have from last time? Yes, it was from Zedenwinkel.nl. So it's like silk, but in Dutch. It's a Dutch store, which they also have like classes, and like on Instagram I saw it and I was like, yeah, in the exams, oh yeah, a fun project. So I had a movie marathon of the High School Musical movies because I really love those. Those are part of my childhood and I really wanted to watch them again. So while I was watching them, I made my blanket in about like 1.5 movies. I finished it. So it's like you have a blanket but it goes very fast and stuff. I haven't lain under it a lot because it sheds. So I'm thinking about maybe having a designated other, just like thin layer, like one of my bed sheets or something, to just put under it, because everything gets in this because it's shedding at the moment, and like I don't want to like have to vacuum every time I use it and stuff. So because I really like laying under it. I think now it's maybe too hot, but like for in winter, but like when I'm at home and then I have to put it away because it's pretty big and stuff. So yeah, I'm like looking for the perfect place to use it, but I'll definitely use it and I really like it. Then the next things I finished, I think there's only 2. One you've already seen, but if I go in order, because that was I did on Ravelry, I made some scrappy socks. So these are called medium socks ones if you would be looking for them on Ravelry, because like I have my tall socks and like, or if they're textured they have the name of the texture or the pattern, but if they're just some vanilla socks I have like almost more 25 pairs I think of mini like small socks and then tall socks, and now I went for medium socks because these seem like medium length to me. So let me show you. So it's like above the heel. Normally I do here the ribbing, so I went for a little bit longer. So which yarns did I use? This gray one is Socks Mini 108. These two are both Mayflower Uranus sock, and this is color 1 and this is color 2. So I had both left over from making my small socks, like the mini ones, like the not small socks, shorty socks. That's something was right. My shorty socks. And I thought, yeah, maybe if I do a contrasting heel and toe and cuff, I could use one. No, I definitely could not, because if you see here, like even for the gusset increases, I still needed another yarn. So I went looking in my stash and I found this one. It's very like, because they had the same blue in it, I thought like, yeah, it works, and I think it's very fun. And even like if you see them on top of, like if they're peeking out of my shoes, you only see like this one color, so that was fun. What did I do? I knit them toe up, 56 stitches on 2.5mm needles, and I used 2.25mm for the ribbing. For the first time, I didn't do these 3 extra gusset stitches I have been doing in all my other socks, because I think what's why some of my socks don't fit perfectly is because I just don't knit them long enough. And now, like with my recipe, and I know I did, I think for these one 45 rows, and I did on some other socks 40 rows, and I'll doing 42 rows on some other socks to try to find just like my perfect number of rows. Because like most of my socks fit, some are just like a little bit small, and then like this happens with them, they just slip off my heel, but I'm like used to it now, so it's just like, okay, yeah, that's what happened with those socks. But I'm like trying to find like the exact perfect numbers for me. So for my socks, I think it's somewhere between 40 and 45 after the toe and before the gusset increases, without extra gusset stitches. So I finished those ones. When did I started them while watching the first Avatar movie, and then in the afternoon I went with my sister to see the second Avatar movie, so I needed simple plain knitting, so that's why I made those, and then of course I could use that for other things as well. Then the next thing I finished was a hat for my dad. I don't have any picture, and I think I will have editors before I've seen him, so I don't think I can get a picture, because I'll put in a picture. I used the ripped watch cap and beanie pattern from Church Mouse Yarns and Tees. I'll try to have a picture this weekend and then put it up on Ravelry if you really want to see it. But I'll put in a picture here of the pattern. And it's just like a ripped beanie over a watch cap very close to the skull. And my dad wanted it like, if it's not folded over, it should just be on top of his ears, and if it is folded over, it should be on top, because he doesn't have a lot of hair, and he wears them like now, even if it's like, even sometimes in summer at night, if he gets cold on his head, he wears it. So he needed, like, he has some hats, but they are like almost too warm, so he was like, yeah, I found a perfect pattern you could make for me, is that hat. So I went searching for it, and it looked good, and I knit it the first time, but the problem is the pattern is for a fingering weight yarn, and I have like a sport weight yarn, and also my dad doesn't have like a really big head, and it's ribbing, it stretches, so you have to take out, I think it's like 16 stitches to get like the right number. So I took out 32 stitches, so 2 sets of 16, but that wasn't enough, so I only took out, yeah, I don't know exactly anymore. I'll be sure to write it in my notes. So, but I think at the end I took out 3 sets of 16 stitches, so I knit the full hat, and then it wasn't good, so I ripped it out again and knit it again, because it was also a little bit too long. So now it's like perfect for what he wants, but he's been wearing it, but I'm just like, I'm ready to just like rip back the decreases and just knit like 1 or 2 more centimeters, and then do the decreases again, because like it's very small, like it's very short as well, so we're a little bit afraid that it will slide off, but I have more than enough yarn to lengthen it, so we'll see. The yarn I used was Lana Grossa Cool Wool Merino Superfine in the color 433 in black. So I used 2.75mm needles for like the first couple of rows. I think you needed to do like a special cast on, but I was like, nope, not doing that. I just did the German stretchy cotton or something. So yes, or the old Norwegian cotton one that's very stretchy, so that works. And then the rest of the hat is knit on 3mm needles. Yes, I'm just looking at my notes. Then the next two things I finished was because I wanted just like a palette cleanser, and I've seen those, and yes, these are at the moment already in use. They are the Knit Yarn Cozy Light. So I have two of them. These one and this one. Yeah, they don't look the best because this yarn is getting to its end. These ones. So this pattern is from Knit Natty. I made the size just the ribbed one, not there's also one with a cable, and also it's like for self-striping yarn you have to do something special, but I didn't do it because it's not that so obvious for me. And these ones are for 100 grams of yarn, but the yarn has been used already, so it's not 100 grams, and it's like getting a bit sloppy, but still holding the yarn well, so I'm happy with them. This yarn is Grundle Wolle Hot Socks Ledro color 2. I made some socks out of it already, so that was one of my scraps I'm using up. And this one is Lana Grossa Mail Weight Neon Dignity in color 2608. So it's just like this black and gray with a stripe of flashy orange. So I did for the 100 grams, I used a 2.25mm needle, and as you can see, like my I-cord bind off is a very how can you say, very not stretchy, I don't know, I can't find the word. So I used a 2.75, so 75mm needle, so like 2 sizes up. But I'm thinking maybe the next one I'll go for a 2.5mm needle because I'm used to knitting socks on that one, and maybe then and try another stretchier I-cord to see if it works. But happy with them and planning on making many more. Then we have two more finished objects before we get into whips. The next one is one you have already seen. Yes, I started them before, but I finished them in the last couple of weeks. These are the Rhinebeck Roomy socks by the Crazy Lady Designs. Crazy Sock Lady Designs. Oh my god. Crazy Sock Lady Designs. I used 56 stitches. This is a cuff down pattern, but I just it's like a 4-row repeat, and I just instead of cuff down I knit them toe up, and I think they look perfect as well. The yarn I used is a sock set from Homespun House in the soft sock base, and the main color is Pour Some Sugar on Me, and then this is a tulle skirt, matcha and marmalade. So yes, I really love them. I use almost all of the yarn up, so I have just a little bit of scraps to put into my northeasterly blanket, and for the rest it's perfect. I have two of them, and yeah, they're blocked, but the ends need to just be snipped. Yes. For those ones I did 56 stitches toe up, no extra gusset stitches. I think I went for 40 rows here because like these superwash merino sock yarn happens that it stretches just a little bit more, so just trying it out, but they definitely fit. And I used 2.5mm needles and then 2.25mm needles for the cuff. And then my last finished object, let me see, yes, my last finished object I don't have with me. I'll put in a picture here. It's Kuzeli number 3. So I made one for myself, one for my mom around Christmas time, and now I've made one for my uncle. So when my aunt and my uncle were with us at Christmas Eve, I just finished sewing up the buttons on my mom's cardigan because I was helping my cousin with a crochet project, and she just needed me to sit there and just have a look sometimes. So I was like, yeah, let me just finish sewing up these buttons. And you'll definitely see that I've then made a little video of it on Christmas morning so I could block it. So I had to finish it the evening before. And then my aunt was like, oh, it's so nice, and like maybe for your uncle. And then we went looking at yarns, and we went for the main color from my Goosley. So that's Drops Nepal in like a light gray. It's number 501. So I use that. And then for like the accent color, for the Latvian braid, I used Whole Super Soft in the color, Whole Garden Super Soft in the color Amber. And then I went in search for some buttons that like were almost the same. So the pattern is by Isabella Clark, and it came out in Lane, but I tested it. That's so right. So weird to say. I did a test knit in December of 2021. Yes, in December of 2021, and then like in December of 2022, I made one for my mom, and then now in in February, at the end of February, beginning of March, I made one for my uncle. What did I do as well? I made size 6, so just one size bigger than the ones I've made for me and my mom, because he has a bit of broader shoulders, so it fits better for his male posture. I also lengthened it and also did the same like for my mom. Shortened the v-neck, so started the decreases for the v-neck later, and had a bit of a deeper armhole. But the thing was, like, I measured him and like one of his favorite sweaters, and yeah, it worked out perfectly. I also with the help of my other aunt, who's a professional seamstress, she helped me sew on some elbow patches because that was a request as well. So we did that, and now it's waiting at home, but not here in my student home, to go with my mom tomorrow, because she's seeing my aunt. They're going for dinner, so she's taking it, and then he has his cardigan. But I've seen my uncle a couple of weeks ago when it was almost finished, so I had the whole body finished and both sleeves were knit and fastened to the body, but the bottom band was not, and nothing was sewn in, so he could try it on, so to make sure everything fit, because I didn't want to start the bottom band and then have to take things out and stuff. And then I also found the placement for the elbow patches and stuff, so I did all of that, and I think he's going to be very happy with it. It's maybe getting a little bit too warm for it now, but it's finished, and I need some easy knitting at the end of February, beginning of March, and that's just stockinette, simple stockinette, but it's the wrong side, of it's reverse stockinette. But for the body, you just knit back and forth like normal, just the right side is the purl bumps are out, and for the cuff I knit the ribbing, the Latvian braid, and then I turn it inside out and just knit to then turn it outside in, and then have the purl bumps at the outside. So yes, that worked perfectly. Okay, I think those are all my finished objects. So you may think, oh wow, she did so much, but some of them were already halfway finished, and it's been 6 weeks as well. So, and I have had a lot of time on my hands as well. I'll tell you about that later. So I needed to do stuff, and that's what I did. Then for my whips, my northeasterly blanket, I haven't been working on it at the moment, because just I don't need it, but probably in a couple of weeks I will have finished 1 or 2 big projects, and then work on it a bit while I'm deciding on which new project I will be starting. So I will show it to you once again. I think I have done this much since you've seen it, so I don't think that's so interesting to see. So I'll show it to you again maybe after the second panel is finished. Then we have Rivaux. This is a pattern by José Paquin. Let me show you. So this is it, which I'm making. I am doing all blue and gray colors. So here's the swatch. You've seen it before. And yes, I am using Hosgorn Coast, which is wool and cotton, a wool and cotton blend, in the colors Teal, River, Tweed, Lead, and Kingfisher. I don't remember exactly which ones are which, but if you want to know, they're all on my project page, which you can see. So you've seen the picture. I haven't had a lot of progress since I've shown it to you, and I am struggling with the yarns. So you always have like 3 working yarns on it, and it's worked flat in intarsia. There's yarns everywhere. Yeah, I'll probably have to untangle it later on when I'm working on it. So I like finished here. Can you see the I think you've seen this before, the, what am I trying to say, the short rows, then a full block, and now I'm on, like, say, the 3rd block. So for this one I'm using 2.5mm needles. I am making size 5. Yes, and for the rest of it I think this will be more of a long-term project, because I really have to like sit down and have more than just a couple of minutes to work on it, because for intarsia you have to switch all your yarns, and like I think it's like 8 rows every stripe, so every 8 rows you have to like put a new yarn, so that row takes a bit longer, because I have a whole list. I wrote it out because this is normally for 3 colors, and I have 5, so I made like 20 rows that looks like random, but they're gonna be repeated just because then I have like this thing to get back to and know, okay, this is the next one, this is the next one, because otherwise I think it will be almost too random or it would be too similar. So yes, but I'm like having it in my hands again. I really want to work on it, but I haven't worked on it in this last week because I've been working on something else, and I think once that's finished I will go back to this one. So yes, that's it. Yeah, it's not a lot at the moment, so hopefully maybe next time I have 2 more stripes or something. We'll see. I'm also trying not to lose any stitches. So yes, that's this one. Then my next work in progress are some socks, some vanilla socks. So these are tall socks 4, number 4. So I'm using 2 colors. So this is a contrasting toe. I'll probably do, so these ones are for where my cozies are in, and I'm like, now I'm just at the point where I need to decide if I'm gonna do the heels as well in the same color and then just see how far I can go and make a long cuff, or I'm gonna do the heels in this gray color and then have a long cuff in the orange and gray. So that is just at this point where I need to decide what to do. I think for this one I went for 40 stitches between toe and gusset increases, so we'll see 42 if that's better than 40 or 45. So we'll see. The yarn I'm using, this gray, is Fortissima 2056. It's leftovers from my 10-line joggers I made, and this yarn is an opal yarn, and that's all I know because there was no label on it, and I have searched for it like in past opal colors because I know like around what time I bought it, but don't have any idea, but I really like it. So that's this one. So that is my easy knitting at the moment, but I think if I look at my yarn now, if I have to like take away 10 grams from it for almost 10 grams or like 7 grams for the heels, I don't think I have a long cuff, so I'll probably do the cuff in the gray, do the heel in the gray, and then can knit a long leg. And there's something in my eye, probably some fluff from all the yarn I've been showing you. Okay, and then I have one more project, one more rib I'm working on, which I am very excited about, and I'm like mad dashing to finish it. And yes, I started this last week on Tuesday. So it's in this beautiful bag from Knitting Unicorns in a collaboration with Homespun House. And what I'm working on is Argyle. Argyle, let me show you. It's by Clear Lakewood. This one is also from Pom Pom magazine, like a Revolt. So it's just a summer top with this interesting knot in the front. So at the back it's just stripes, but the front is worked sideways, which then you can make a knot. Okay, let me try to show you what is going on. So this one I am also working on size 5 on 3.5mm needles. So after I got my shorty sets to make like 9-inch circular needles and all, I have like now multiple needles to like work on 3.5s because like that's, if I'm working with a fingering weight yarn, that's a lot my standard yarn, so, or my standard needle size. So I'm very happy that I can like work on this one, and also on my like the revolve with all the different blue and gray colors, because then I don't have to switch my needles every time. So yes, how is this going? Very well, very well. So I finished the whole back, then I did the decreases and then the increases again for the front, and then you like see like, if I lay it against me this way, you can see like this is just the top of the front, and then now I am working on the right front. So I'll be doing this until like the middle, and then left on, and then I think I'm doing a 3 needle bind off, and then I'll have here you can see I'm working on, this is increasing, so I'm working on the thing to tie it together. A couple of adjustments I've made. I'm making size 5, but I think I can show you this way. Like here, this is where I started it, and then I went up, and then I was like trying it on for as far as possible, and like laying it down and measuring it. I was like, this is not gonna be long enough. So what I did is I just picked up and knit down instead of knit up. I did 4 full stripe patterns, and then I did 1 in and some fluff is getting in my nose, and then I did 1 in this broken rib. So that's like one you knit on one side, and then you knit and purl on the other side, and knit and purl, just on a 2.25 millimeter needle to have it lay a little bit more flat, because it was curling up a lot before, and I thought like I needed a bit longer and I wanted to lay flat, so I did that. But it's no problem, you just pick up a couple of extra stitches, but it won't take away. Also, it has some interesting shaping here. So like as you can see, this is the part I did extra, and then here it goes out a bit, it has some shaping, so we'll see how it fits. But I am excited about it and thinking about, like, I want to wear it on like high-waisted skirts, so then it would be perfect if it's like a bit cropped. But I also want to wear it just like with jeans or with some shorts which aren't so high-waisted, so then I think I need it a bit longer. So I did it, and I had enough yarn, so that's it. So we'll see how it goes now. I have a lot of knitting to do to just finish it up, but we'll see. So that is like been my main focus, next to just my simple socks if I don't, because what I'm doing for this one, I'm using, so the colors I'm using, I said it's Solid Ground Super Soft, is this one is Downy Owl. It's leftover from Leiden, another summer stop I made last year, no, 2 years ago. And then I also have these 2 cones, which are leftovers from cardigans I made for my mom. And I could have definitely made them with 1 cone, but then I have to like wind off yarn, and it was a little bit lazy, so I thought just let me use these 2 cones. There are normally a different color lot. I think, yes, they are. Like this is 93, 686, and this one is 94 and 981. But just using them together, you don't really see the big difference. I think maybe you can see it on camera better. Like this one seems a little bit more brighter, but like in real life, I don't think you can really see it. I thought like then using it like this gives no problem. And I also have like leftover from one of those. I don't remember which one. I have a big leftover, so I think, but I was also too lazy to bring it with me because I just had these 2 cones. So we'll see. So hopefully maybe in 2 weeks when I film again, or 3 weeks, I'll see what makes happen. This one's finished because like I really want to wear it. It's still a bit cold to wear it, but like this with a cardigan over it, everything works. I want to wear this. I'm very happy with it. This is one that I have been planning to make for like 2 years, like Revo, and I'm like, now I just need to make it. Yes. So those were all my finished objects and my whips. I think I know it was a lot, and I hope I gave you all the information you wanted. If there is anything else I didn't tell you, just ask me and I'll try to help you out in the comments or send me a message on Instagram or on Ravelry. No problem. Then some of my like future knitting project, because I think once my simple socks are finished I'm gonna want some other socks. I have this yarn. This is Dolce sock wool from Hobby, just standard sock yarn, and this is color 9. Let me show you this. So as you can see, it has some speckles in it, which then will like give speckles. And the yarn what I want to do for this one is the DNA socks by Lindsay and Ressi, or at Knitting Hood. I'll put a picture in here. So it's a very simple, which is like, I think it's a 1x1 cable or maybe a mock cable that gives you the DNA helix. Sometimes words are hard. DNA helix on like your left and your right side of your foot. So I really want to make those. As a sciencey person, I find those really cool. So I think those ones, and then I have leftovers from my cozies, and then I have some other bigger scraps from my vanilla shorty socks, which I want to make more cozies. So I probably will make a couple of smaller ones and then a big one and a smaller one. Like I have a set for like 100 grams and 50 grams and 20 grams and like a crochet one as well, and I want to make all of the cozies, and I think they're perfect to use up my scraps. So yes, this is it. Okay, I think that's all about the knitting. I haven't bought any yarn. I think since I talked to you, I have bought one thing, but it's coming I think at the end of March. So once I have it, I'll definitely show you. It's a yarn club. But for the rest, I haven't bought any yarn because I don't need it. Because I have more than enough yarn. So I'll be just choosing my stash, picking my stash, shopping my stash. Then if you're not really interested about the live part or anything, thank you for following, and I hope to see you in 2 to 3 weeks. And if you're interested why I have been gone for a couple of weeks and what has happened with me, because some things have happened that I want to share, stay and let me share, because yeah, why not? So the first things, after I finished my podcast the last time, I just cleaned up here and went home. I was here for almost a month, so I had a lot of clothes that need to be washed and stuff that need to get home again. So I had like extra bags with me and like my big backpack and all. Okay, good. So I'm working on the show notes for that podcast, and so I am using my phone as a hotspot to get on the internet, to just use Ravelry to make sure I get all the rings right in my show notes. And because normally I first write them down, because I don't need all of this information for you in the show notes with size and with yarns, but just the Ravelry links. So I do that separately. So I was working on that, and I was also listening to some music on my phone with like my Bluetooth headphones. That's a setting. So I'm on the train doing this. Other people, what happened? I was doing something else because I don't know. I like missed my bus at like 1 minute and then missed my train. So I took another train. Like normally I need to take 2 trains. So I have 1 transfer and then I need to take 3 trains. So I had 2 transfers, but I was like, yeah, fine. I just want to get home. Let's leave and take that train. Okay, so I did that. So I went from Leuven to Brussels. Normally I go from Leuven to Ghent and then from Ghent home. Now I went from Leuven to Brussels, Brussels to Kortrijk, and then Kortrijk home. So it's like almost the same traject, like the same traveling way, but just other trains, other hours, because we only have like 1 train, or sometimes on busy hours 2 trains that like go to the station at my home. So I just like, if I miss that train, I just have to wait an hour. And I'm like, okay, fine, but at least I'm definitely closer to home. And yes. So what happened when I switched on the train in Brussels? I get out my laptop, set myself up, but I'm wearing a dress, so I can't put my phone in my pocket. And because I'm typing, I can't really put my phone on my laptop. And it's like a small table in the train, so I can't really put it next to me. And I think at that moment I was just like, I was looking, I had like a lot of stuff around me, and I just looked at a notification and I put my phone next to me, and we're just stopping at a station and somebody stole my phone. So I my internet falls away on my laptop. I get this my Bluetooth headphones connection lost, so my phone has to be at least more than 10 meters away from me, and I'm like, shit. So the first thing you do is like look around the app. Like didn't it fall behind one of the seats? But of course not, because it was. So yes, my phone got stolen, so it was a whole thing to like get everything back, and also like my ID, my driver's license, my credit card, my student card, my card for public transport, everything was in it. Not my card for the bus, not my card for the train. So yes, so then the thing they say is, yeah, you need to go to the police and just tell them what happened, but you need to make an appointment. So I couldn't go on Friday afternoon, so it was this whole thing. So like the whole week I was home from university before my new semester started. I was just like getting a new phone, going to the police, then going to city hall to get a new driver's license, to get a new ID, because like I had this paper saying yes it got stolen, but I couldn't, like at a moment I couldn't leave the country, because luckily I had not planned a trip, because I wouldn't be able to leave because I didn't have a valid ID card and stuff. So yes, all these things are happening, and I'm like, what is going on? And then like I went, and I thought my pictures were okay, but they weren't, so I had to go somewhere else, just take first ID pictures and then go back. So yes, I did that, and then I also had like a lot of appointments with like family. I went to see both my grandmas. I went to see my sister for a couple of days. I slept over at hers. I went to see my cousins and my godmother. So like all of these things happened, and then next to that I had to go to all my appointments to get all my stuff back, and then so on. And then I was using a phone, like an old phone from my sister, which worked fine, and then that one broke down, so I had to get a new phone. And so now I'm filming on a new phone. Like my other phone was almost 5 years old, so the thing is, like, it's not that it was a brand new phone or stuff, but it's just all those things around it, all the paperwork I had to fill out and do, and I was not ready for that. So that happened, so I was in a shitty mood, you could say, about that, but I was like, okay, yeah, fine. And then I got my exam results, and like now I can say it without like being angry or something, but they weren't good. Let's just put it out there. Like, you don't need details, but they weren't good. So at that moment, I was like making the decision to keep doing bioscience engineering, what I'm doing now, which I'm loving most of the parts, but some parts not, and are really hard, which I failed, or changing it up, and then what to do, because like that was on Thursday night, and on Monday I started a new semester, so I had to like make a lot of decisions. So then after talking with my family, talking with like a student advisor and stuff, I decided to just take one course, which is a philosophy course, which you have to do like almost whichever thing you're gonna study, you have to do this philosophy course somewhere in your study. So I was like, okay, let me do that course, that I'm certain I'm doing something, and then I can make out what I want to do. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe if I just like don't do any classes now and then retake my exams in August and September, but I wasn't feeling it. And then there's this thing like, why don't I change? So now at the moment I am going for biology. So in September, when the new school year starts, I'll be changing from bioscience completely to biology. But I have a lot of credits acquired already. So for my courses that I've passed in like these 2.5 years, I have credits, and these ones, like, we have similar courses, not all of them, but some of them, between biology and bioscience engineering, so I don't have to do those courses again. And also to like have to do something now, I'm taking 2 courses by biology already, to also like don't have to do those in the next couple of years. So I'm doing 3 courses, one bioscience engineering course, which also like I don't have to do it again in biology, and 2 biology courses. I'm doing a philosophy course, one about religions and spirituality and stuff. It's a bit weird, but it's interesting, and one about sustainability. They're all like not that hard courses and stuff. It's like not maths and science and like physics or chemistry. So it's just like having a bit of a cool down. And then I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do, because I only have like 4 hours of classes in a week, and I'm sitting here getting a bit anxious. I want to do stuff, so I said like let me try to get a job a couple of days a week or something. So and that went pretty good. Like you could search a lot of things, and then on the first week on Monday, I think I went looking. We have a career zone by our university where people can like put stuff out, like we need a job, a student for a job, because that's like different than a normal person for a job and stuff. So and then I found Move. It's written MOEV, which do sports days for kids, which I knew after like looking it up. I've done it myself. So what I work there now, what we do is we go to a gym and we set everything up, and then schools come to us and they get they form little groups, and then they go around and do all the things. We have bouncy castles, we have things to climb, we have things like to build, to puzzle, some like very low bikes which you have to use your hands for, a big ball. We have like different things, but also at different moments of time we do it for different age groups, so the things differ all of the time. So I call them and like, hey, I'm searching for a job 1 or 2 days a week in Leuven, because I'm here because I have classes and I want to see my friends. I have some experience working with kids as a summer camp leader, as a babysitter, so no problem there. As a coach in basketball and kayak polo, so no problem there. They're like, okay, good. On Thursday we could use you already to go with them. I was like, okay, perfect. And then I was like, yes, you need to leave at 7. So I was like, oh my god, I need to leave that early. And now I need to leave even earlier because we're doing then it was called American Games, and it was for like 11 and 12-year-olds, and now it's called Kronkel die Doe. It's not even a real world, it's like a made-up word in Dutch as well, and that's for like 7 and 8-year-olds. So and we have just a lot of more setup work to do, so we need to leave earlier. So sometimes I'm out of here at 6:30, or I need to leave at 6:15 because I need to leave. So I bike there and then I drive myself or or with somebody to the gym, and then we set up and do all of these things. So yes, I'm loving that, but also it's like it's hard work. It's getting up early. It's like physical work, because like you have to put everything and you need to do this, but it's fun to see happy kids and it's doing something. So that I'm also like doing some babysitting here and there, maybe some volunteer work. So I'm just like looking at different things, which like I have time now. I have this job which I know like now until the end of June I have my schedule, so I know I'll when I need to work, and then I can like look if I want to do something else or stuff. So yes, I'm like, now is the time, like I'm getting some money, but also I want to have some experience, so maybe do some volunteer work and stuff. So that's what's been going on with me. So that was the thing. I just wasn't feeling it to podcast because I didn't have the mojo, and I was like, I was very just like, I don't want to talk about it. And then, but now we're like in week 6 of the semester, so I like found my drive again, have a pretty set schedule of when I have to work, when not, know which days I'm free. So that's it. So I had a lot of free time in the first couple of weeks, but now I am working, I am doing some volunteer work, so I don't have so much free time, but still it's like almost the same time I have next to school, so I have still a lot of time for knitting. But the first couple of weeks I just hadn't to do anything except go to class, so what I did was just sit around and knit, and then I went to the movies on my own and stuff like that. So it was fun for a couple of weeks, but then I was like, no, I need to have this job, and then they needed me, and it was like perfect timing for like all of the things. So yes. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I have one more week of classes, and then we have spring break for 2 weeks. So probably when I will be filming next is when I'm home. Because I will be home for those 2 weeks. And you'll see what I've done. Hopefully finished something, started something new maybe. We'll see. For the rest, what I have been doing is reading a lot, because I was so stressed out in like during exam period. I didn't take the time to read, but now I've been reading a lot. I've been listening to other books, going on walks, all of this stuff, cooking a bit more. So like what I do now, so normally I make oatmeal pancakes a couple of days in the week in the morning, but it takes like some time. So what I do now is like once every 2 weeks I just make this big batch, and then I have like enough for 2 weeks, not for every day, but like for like say for the 5 days I'm here, for like 4 or 3 days in the week, so I can then also eat something else. But like I freeze them, and then I just need to think about like the evening before to get them out. So I've been doing that. I have been seeing my friends in the first couple of weeks when I didn't need to work. I went out a bit, I had some fun, and then now with my job I work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I don't really can go out if I need to wake up around 5:30 to be able to leave around 6:30. So no going out, but I'm like getting a lot of back of doing things and being happier again with my decision as well. And also this means that this summer I don't have to study for exams that I need to retake. So I have like a long summer, which is getting planned full. So one of the things I also got that I haven't told you, so I'm a summer camp leader. So this year I'm going on a summer camp to the Netherlands, and we're going sailing. So we're going on a sailboat on the Markenmeer and at IJsselmeer. So those are two big lakes, and then maybe we get to the sea, but we'll see, because we have to cross these two lakes, and depending on like we have 7 days to sail. It's with 13 and 14-year-olds. It's a small group. I'm like getting ready to make some small games and stuff, and I've done it myself before when I was around that age with like my parents and other family and friends. We went sailing, so I know the drill. I know some things you can do and can't do, and like you have this small space and you need to make sure that everything can being put away directly if you need to help with something. So yes, I'm like looking forward to planning all of that. And then I'm also like, for the festival I'm working at, we have an extra week of setting up, but then not in the weekend. So they asked if I would be available then, which I'm like, yes, I don't have a camp, so I'm available. I'm ready to go help. I am giving also a summer camp for like water sports. So at the place where I play canoe polo, we also have like subs and what do we have? Kayaks, canoes, rafts, so all of these things. So we have a whole week planned that I'm going there to help. I'm looking maybe going on a holiday with my sister. So there's a lot of things I want to do, and now I can do them and also like enjoy my summer. And the Nocturnus is starting again, so I will be playing some theater. So it's like evening theater walks. So like from the beginning of July to like mid-August, every Friday and Saturday, sometimes Sundays, depending on what, if the Monday is like a bank holiday or something. We have like 6 to 7 walking tours that leave, and then they go to different places, and there are actors playing a scene out there. So I'll be somewhere playing a scene, not every night of course, but I'm looking forward to that as well, because in May repetitions will start and stuff like that. So I'm like, my summer is almost booked full, but with like fun things, and I'm like, let me just enjoy it, and then have in September a new start for biology and see where it get me, and I can just really enjoy it without having to stress. So okay, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I'll probably can go talking about a couple of more hours, but I think this is more than long enough. So I'll see when I can upload this. I hope tonight. So I'm looking at my watch here, so I'll probably be leaving here in half an hour, so I can't really edit this. So I'll probably edit this tonight and then upload it, and maybe you can see this on Saturday morning or Friday night, depending on where in the world you are, different from Belgium. We'll see. I hope to see you in 2 or 3 weeks. If you don't see me, something came up, and I'll probably tell you about it in the next episode. But thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed, maybe subscribe, because then you'll see when I post a new video. Like this video, because that helps with the algorithm, YouTube and all those stuff. Just it helps me get exposed to more people, so more people can enjoy the knitting content. And also that means YouTube knows that you liked this kind of video, so they can like the algorithm can give you like more examples of knitting podcasts maybe, or things you could be interested in. So yes, like, subscribe, comment if you want to know anything, and I'll see you probably in a couple weeks. Okay, bye.